Alright, this is the week of Tisha B'Av. We're going to talk about Tisha B'Av and Eicha. This is going to be a short sheer, 15 minutes. And the one after this is also 15 minutes on Devarim. The one before this is on Devarim. And the one before that is on Maaseh, was 15 minutes. The one before that was Matos, 15 minutes. And the one before that was Pinchas, Matos, Maaseh, Devarim, Eicha. Because we missed 3 weeks in the summer, so including this one, these 5 shurim are short. So let's talk now about Eicha, which is coming up this week. And I don't know if you heard about it, but the Chachamim made an announcement that this year we're not going to fast on Tisha B'Av because it's so close to Mashiach, so we don't have to fast Tisha B'Av. And to make up for that, they added an extra day, 10 days. That's what's going to happen this year because we're not fasting Tisha B'Av this year. Did you hear about it? Did you hear about it? No, because they think Mashiach is coming, they don't have to fast. We did it. It's over. You heard about that? This year we're not fasting Tisha B'Av. No Jew is going to fast Tisha B'Av. No Jew in the world. Because it's Shabbos. So they're going to add a 10th day. The 9 days become 10. The Sunday is the 10th. So, Tisha B'Av. Tisha B'Av is 9/11. Tisha B'Av, the 11th month. Right? Of Elul is the 12th. Then Tishrei starts at 1 again. 9/11. We had 9/11 2,000 years ago. The Meraglim came back and talked bad about Eretz Canaan. That's 9/11. That was Tisha B'Av. They cried for nothing. Hashem said in Rashi there, well, Rashi brings it, you cried for nothing, I'll give you something to cry about. 40 years in the Midbar, 440 in Eretz Yisrael, before they built the base of Mikdash, and then 410 years of the base of Mikdash. That's 1,200 years. 880 years, 890 years. 40, 440, 410. 8, 50, and 890. 890 years. Then they had it before the base of Mikdash on 9/11. And then they had 70 years Golus Bavel. And then the second one stood 10 years longer, 420. And they had again destroyed on 9/11. All the Jews were driven out of Spain on 9/11, Tisha B'Av, 1492. All the Jews were driven out of England, 1290. By Edward Yamashimo on Tisha B'Av. Yeah. 1307 out of France on Tisha B'Av. First World War started on Tisha B'Av, by the way. And the Second World War was only a result of the First World War, if you know history. And Kristallnacht, when they burned all the shuls and they killed millions of Jews. That was November 9th, 11/9, 9/11. The cleaning out of the Warsaw Ghetto, Tisha B'Av, 9/11. Isn't that interesting? Where you're in trouble in America, you call 911. 9/11. Why? Why is everything happening here 9/11? Why? Why didn't Hashem put into the mind of the police chiefs of America to call 999? Oh, 111. 000 maybe. 111. Or some easy number 333. Why 911? I'll tell you why. Because 911, if you add it up, Mispar Katan is 11. And 11, the Mispar Katan is 2. There's only 2 players in the world history, Yisrael and Hashem. God created the world only for Yisrael. First word, I told you 50 times already. The Vilna Gaon says the first word of the Torah, Bereshis, Beit, Reish, Aleph, Shin, Yud, Tav, Bereshona, Ra, Lakim, Shekablu, Yisrael, Torah. That's why he made the world. So everything bad that happens in the world is our fault. Ain Parani is Bala Olam Ela B'Shvil Yisrael. And all the good things too. We benefit the entire world, or we can cause the downfall of the whole world. Because we're the Arlam and we're the light to the nations. If you mess up, the whole world goes with you. If a pilot of a plane gets sick and crashes the plane, it's all his fault. And if he takes him there in beautiful, no bumps and nicely and avoids the problem, he's a great pilot. If you have bad food, it's the cook's fault. Good food is the cook's benefit. You have a great yeshiva and a shul with a big rav and a Talmud Chacham, and he has thousands of people come to him. That's his benefit. You have a guy that can't handle it, he only has 20 people come to his minion, so he's not capable. It's all the boss. Whoever the boss is, he gets the benefits or the disadvantages. So it's all our fault. We have to be Orlam and keep showing Torah and mitzvahs. Tisha B'Av is 9/11. On Tisha B'Av, Mashiach is born. On Tisha B'Av, the person who wrote the Eicha, Yirmiyahu, was born on Tisha B'Av. And now Tisha B'Av is going to be Yom Tov. Because it says in Megillas Eicha 4 times, Mo'ed. So Pesach, Sukkot, and Shavuos. And Tisha B'Av will be the 4th Yom Tov. Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah is not Yom Tovim. They're special. Yomim no Ra'im. But Yom Tovim, to be happy in advance of this, that's Pesach, Sukkot, and Shavuos, and Tisha B'Av will be Yom Tov. Because it says, Karo Alai Mo'ed. Call this day a Mo'ed. So, till Mashiach comes, it's a Mo'ed, it's a time of sadness, but it will be a time of happiness. So 4 times in Megillah it says Mo'ed, because that's going to be the 4th Yom Tov. Now, the word Eicha. Eicha, how is it? Yoshva Bado, and she sits alone. Eicha, what's the gematria? Aleph Yud Chav Hey. 36. When do you read Eicha? What is 3 and 6? 9. You read on the 9th of Av. Geula is coming by Mashiach. How much is Geula? 45. What is that going to be? 4 and 5. 9. On Tishba. The first 4 words of Eicha also is 9. Look. It says here, Eicha Yoshua Bodid Ha'ir Abasi The first 4 here. Eicha Yoshua Bodid Ha'ir. Aleph Yud Beis Hey. Aleph Yud Beis Hey. 5, 7, 17, 18. 1 and 8 is 9. Tisha B'Av, you read this. So, I want to tell you something. The Holocaust, the Shoah, is hinted to in the Megillas Eicha. At the end. 5th chapter. You know there's 5 chapters of Eicha. Every capital goes in Aleph Beis order. 22 Pesukim according to the Aleph Beis. The first one, the second one, the third one has 3 times Aleph Beis. 3 Pesukim Aleph, then 3 Pesukim Beis, 3 Pesukim Gimel. So therefore it's 22 Pesukim the first chapter, 22 the second, 66 the third, 22 the fourth, and 22 the fifth. You add it up together, it comes out to 154. Yeah, you say, yes, so. Well, Megillas Eicha, according to Chazal, is not called Eicha, because it has the first word. It's called Megillas Kinos, lamentation. Kino is exactly 155. 154 Pesukim, and Kino is 155. So you say, well, 155 is not 154. Yeah, and Gematria could be off, plus or minus 1, always. Always. You know why? Let me tell you. When you say that it's now 9:30, I'm going to wait till 9:40. How many minutes is that? 10? That's the average. It could be 11 or 9. Because all of 10, let's say 9:20, 9:30 to 9:40, all of the 9:30 minute, 9:30, and all of the 9:40, I mean all of the first minute and all of the last minute, that's 11. But the end of 9:30 to the beginning of 9:40, if you just have last second of 9:30, the first second of 9:40, that's 9 minutes. So the average is 10. So therefore, Gematrias could be plus or minus 1. Yeah, you can use your car, your odometer. It says 250, 65 miles. Then it says 275 miles. How many did you go? 10 miles? You could have gone 11. All of the beginning, the last mile here, and the first mile here, or maybe the end of this to the beginning of this. It's only 9. So between 9 and 11, 10 is an average. That's all. Unless you have a stopwatch or something down to the second, that's something else. All Gematrias could be plus or minus 1. So Kino is 155, and there's 154 Pesukim, and the whole Sefer is called Sefer Kinos. Like Bereshis, it's not called Bereshis according to Chazal. People conveniently call it Bereshis because it starts with Bereshis. It's not what Chazal call it. They call it Sefer HaBriya, the book of creation. God created the world. And the second Sefer, Shmos, is called Sefer HaGeula, the book how we got out of Egypt. The third one is about Kabbalah, so it's all Torah's Kohanim. the Yikra. Bamidbar is called Torah's Hapikudim. It tells you right at the beginning the number, they counted many times in Bamidbar. And Devarim is called Mishneh Torah, repetition of the Torah. It repeats a lot of things, but not anything of Bereshit in there. Nothing about Yetzias Mitzrayim, nothing about Matan Torah, nothing about Korbanos, nothing about the Ohel Moed, the Mishkan. Only about after they stayed a year on Har Sinai, and then to the end they were trying out Yiddishkeit for 39 years. How does it fit? How does a new suit fit? We had a problem with Korach, got rid of him. 250 Rishoyim with him, got rid of him. Meraglim, they talked Lashon Hara, they died. Zimri did something with the woman, killed. The two sons of Aaron brought their own korbanos, they were not told, killed. Egel, the Erev Rav, they got slaughtered. It took 40 years to how to live as a Jew. So, Eicha and Tisha B'Av is very deep stuff. We have Avelos on Tisha B'Av, yes. But we have no Atzvus, no depression. We're Avelim, we're not Atzavim, we're not depressed. The Geula will come, you can believe that. Because in Mitzrayim they were told you're going to get out after 210 years, and they got out after 210 years. And Hashem said there will be a thing called Mashiach. It will come, maybe tomorrow. Will not come on Shabbos or Erev Shabbos. Yontiv or Erev Yontiv. Because Shabbos is Me'ein Olam Haba. It don't need Mashiach. It's like Olam Haba already. And you don't want to destroy a Shabbos by messing up Erev Shabbos because you're preoccupied taking care of Shabbos. It will never come on Shabbos or Yontiv or Erev Shabbos, Erev Yontiv. So it could come on Wednesday this week or Thursday, but not Friday. It could come on Tisha B'Av, the 9th this year, not Sunday. 9th because the Yirmiyahu wrote the Eicha was born on Tisha B'Av and Mashiach was born on Tisha B'Av. The saddest day will become the happiest day, from one extreme to the other. Yeshua's Hashem Keheref Ayin. The salvation of God is like a blink of an eye from one second to the other. And 9/11, 2001, didn't the world change in a blink? Since that day on September 11th in New York, the entire world changed forever. The Muslims control the entire world. Don't doubt that. Every place, they're not afraid to die. There's billions of them. They control the whole world. Everything. Hashem made it that these Shmuel, they have a schus. They believe in God. And they believe in tznius, not like the Western world. What they do privately, the behemoths, chayas. But openly, at least, there's tznius with the women. And they believe in one God. They believe in no images. Yishmael, God listens to them. But their time is up, finished. They're murderers and killers. How can you be a believer in God and be such a wicked person? You see. The people who made the ego believe in God 100%, says in the Ramban. But they needed an intermediary, they thought. There's no intermediary. We intermediary. We speak to God every day 3 times in the second person singular. Baruch Ato Hashem. You don't say Atem, like you talk to Rosh Hashiva, was built to Rosh Hashiva. You don't talk to him, you. But Hashem is you, because He's our best friend. He's closer than your father and your mother. You have no closer friend than Hashem Yisbarach. Baruch Ato Hashem. Even in English, Old English has a respectful second person called thou. Or what does the queen want? What does the Rebbe want? What does my father want? You don't say you, not respectful people. Hashem, you say you. Because you have no closer friend than your Abi Shebeshemayim. He's the only one that can help you and get you out of any tzoros. The only one. You better pray to Him. Not a 2-minute Shemon Esrei, but 8 minutes Shemon Esrei. Don't you want to think what you're saying? You're talking to the Borei Olam 3 times a day. Does He answer? A guy once said to me, does He answer you? I said, yep. We talk to Him in davening and He answers us in the Torah. Here it is, His words. He's talking to me. You believe that? I say, yes. Otherwise it wouldn't waste my time on this stuff. It would be nonsense. Why do I dedicate my whole life to this? Because I believe it's a mess. God spoke to all of us at Sinai. Millions. And there's only one version of the Torah. No one ever wrote another version of the Torah. Ever. It's so true. It can't even imagine. Avraham Avinu figured out after he was a guy. He became a year at the age of 52. Finally, the world was 2,000 years old. He discovered Torah because he was born in 1948. And at 52, the world was 2,000 years old. And then the years of Tohu Vavohu were ended. Then from 2000 to 4000, the second 2000, there was the world of Torah. And from 4000 till now, 6000, it is the world of Yemos HaMashiach. 222. So the world will only exist 6,000 years. So, what else do we have to say about Eicha? Oh, Eicha, yeah. Eicha, the last thing, Aleph Yud Chav Hey, is 36. So they violated the 36 krisos. That's why there were millions were killed and Beis Mikdash destroyed and the state demolished. Eicha is 36. They did Chayv krisos. Also 36 is 3 and 6 is 9. That's when you read the Eicha on the 9th of Av. What do you know what else what Aleph Yud Chav Hey means? Aleph, they didn't believe in Anochi Hashem Lekecha anymore because they violated the Torah. And Yud, they didn't keep the mitzvahs. Yud, Seres Sedibros represents all the 613 mitzvahs. Chav, they were not moral because they violated the bris that was given to Avram. He was in the 20th generation. Adam, Noah, 10. Noah, Avram, 20. The 20th generation, Chav. Avram Avinu was given a bris, which means you have to be a moral nation. Be very careful how you live your life of morality. And Hey is you have to believe in and learn Torah. Chumash Torah has all the rest of the Tanakh in it, and all the Medrash, and all the Gemara, and all the Yuzah, and everything is in Chumash and written in oral law. Aleph Yud Chav Hey. So Rabbi Sai, one last thing. Where is the remez for the Shoah in that Eicha? Let me tell you something I discovered 30 years ago, and a big Rosh Hashiva told me, Yosef, you got to be mafar saying that. You got to publicize that because that's emes. Okay, I'm going to only tell you what I'm thinking. Want to see? The last chapter of Eicha, it's the 5th chapter, right? Eicha, Zochar Hashem Mahoyelanu. Zchar Hashem. Remember, God, what happened to us? Mahabito, look at it. If you look at that chapter, it has 22 pesukim, but it's the only chapter that's not in the order of Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Dal, Hey, but it's 22 pesukim. Look at that. And look, there's 6 words that are missing letters. There's 4 vavs that are missing in 4 words, and 2 hays that are missing in 2 words. If you add up the words, the 6 words that with their missing letters, you get to 698. And it's the 5th chapter, so you put 5, 6, 9, 8. The date 5698 was 1938. That was the beginning of the war against the Jews. The Second World War was 10 months later, September 1st, 1939, when Hitler invaded Poland. But the war against the Jews was then, because that started Kristallnacht. Kristallnacht was on November 9th, again, 11/9, not November 9th, 9/11, 11/9. That was the war against the Jews started in 1938, which is exactly Tov Reish Tzaddik Ches. You know what the letters Tov Reish Tzaddik Ches? 5698. You know what it sounds like? Tiyeh Retzach. There will be a slaughter. Tov Reish Tzaddik Ches is the gematria of the letters in the 5th chapter that are missing, the words that are missing letters. And since it's in the 5th chapter, 5698, which is Tov Reish Tzaddik Ches, that's 1938, beginning of World War. When they get the war against the Jews, the World War was 10 months later. Kristallnacht means the night. All the windows, all the shul glasses were smashed, and were looked on the ground like crystal, glass, smashed glass. My father wanted to say, Zatzal, that German Jews became Reformed religion. It's not Jewish religion. The Reformed religion. They don't believe Torah in the Shemaim. They don't believe in Mashiach. They don't believe in Yerushalayim. They don't believe in Mashiach. They don't believe in Moshe Rabbeinu. They don't believe in anything like that. Bris Milah they cut out. Shabbos they made on Sunday. They were Goyim, happened to be born biologically Jewish. It's a Reformed religion. You know that on that night, after 150 years, because it started in 1775, after the death of Moses Mendelssohn, because he was the father of the poison. He said Tehillim is mediocre poetry. Because, he acted like a very from Yid. No, but inside he was not because. And he was the father of poison. 1775, 1875, 125, 150 years later came Kristallnacht. And the Jews wanted to become Goyish Jews, those Reform Jews. But the crystal ball of German assimilation, of fantasy, was smashed because all those Reform Jews with religious Jews were taken to Auschwitz, Bergen-Belsen, Dachau. It didn't help them anything, their assimilation. It was a failure. Reform religion is a disastrous failure because they're kufr and devar Hashem, and now they're nothing. You can read that they have so millions of members, but if you know inside people who became Baalei Tshuva, like I know, they have nothing. I taught them for 8 years these big shots of the Reform movement. It's nothing with nothing. They were against having a state in Israel. They were against having anything over there. So after the state was established for 20 years, 68, after 48, they decided to make a kibbutz. I thought you don't recognize the state of Israel. They said, Yerushalayim we don't need. Berlin is Yerushalayim. We don't need Torah, enlightenment, science. That's more important. They made I have a picture. They made the first Reform kibbutz, and a guy with a talus over his head, a Reform rabbi, holding a Sefer Torah and bringing it to the Ark. How come all of a sudden you have a Torah and you're in Israel? Because it's a fraud, the entire thing. You never heard of a Frum Jew became Reformed, but only you hear the other way all the time. It doesn't work. All right. Rabbi Isai, we are finished with the Eicha and Tisha B'Av. We hope Mashiach this year will come in the next few days, and Simcha, this Shabbos will be a tremendous Simcha, and finally the 2019, 142 years of waiting will be over. The Meher B'Yameinu, the Tzemach Tzedek should come. Amen.